What's going on, guys? Scott Hilse here. A lot of people have been asking about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and explain everything in this video on how I was able to create a six-figure business with one Facebook ad and one product on my one store. So as I like to mention every single one of my videos, I like to get right to it. This is how I did it. It was through dropshipping e-commerce. For those of you who don't know what dropshipping e-commerce is, it's when you list products for a higher price than you know you can get them from a supplier, and when someone orders from you, you then order from that supplier. So there's no upfront costs. So for example, I'm selling one iPhone case. That's how I've been able to net $132,000, I think I'm at right now. Okay, so yeah, right now I'm at $133,207.93, and right now it's 3 p.m. and I've done $607 in sales so far. So yeah, it's still booming right now. My return rate is actually less than 1%. So this stuff actually does work. Yeah, guys, so this is a brief history of how everything went down. So I went to college for 2 years, and then one summer my buddy invited me to LA, and LA was always my dream of living there. I always wanted to live there. I saw the movie Lords of Dogtown. I was sold immediately. So I went down there. I lived in the ghetto of Koreatown, very bad. Our corner store got robbed by 2 AK-47s when I was walking to it. That was nuts, but I worked in Beverly Hills, so I got two sides of the spectrum there, and I realized that there's a lot of money out there, and I got so many opportunities just working in Beverly Hills that I'm like, why? When I got back to school, I was there for 1 day, and I was like, why am I here? This is a waste of time. I see what's possible. I'm gonna go do it. So I dropped out of college, and I was like, now what am I gonna do? My original plan was to be a realtor. After about 2 or 3 months of studying that, I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. I don't know. I just want to live in California. So I was gonna go down there, be an Uber driver, and just be a realtor. But I knew I wasn't really going to be a realtor. I really wanted to find something out, and in the back of my mind I always had this dream of making money online. So Ty Lopez's social media marketing program came in, and I bought that. I went through the steps, and the whole ideology is you want to pick up clients to do their social media marketing for them. Now when I got to the end of it, I realized like that's still not really what I wanted, and I didn't really want to put too much time into that because I knew it'd be a headache dealing with, you know, clients trying to convince people to like buy from you, when really I wanted people to buy from me, something from me, because they wanted it. I didn't like the idea of like trying to convince people. So I decided, okay, I don't really like, the course is great, okay, the course is great. It gave a big overview of everything, but I wanted to do something more automated. So I discovered this thing called dropshipping e-commerce, and I was like, now this is the dream. It's a little harder, but it's the dream right here. So I'm like, I don't really want to waste my time pursuing something I know that I don't want in the end. Why would I not go directly to my goal? So I went on Chris Records' 90-day challenge, and that was also a broad overview. It was kind of like a funnel to his more expensive services between me and you, I could tell. So I watched like 2 or 3 of those videos, and I got an idea of how dropshipping e-commerce works. So started off like everybody else does. I started off making a stupid generic store that nobody was gonna buy from, like women's clothing, I think was my first one. Then I tried watches, 2 classic e-commerce dropshipping niches that are just bound to fail because of the competition. And so as I started pursuing this, I started looking into these groups, and there's like 50,000 people in this group, and I'm like, 50,000 people are trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do. Like I gotta do something different. So, oh, here's the book right here. I read this book, Insanely Simple, by Ken Siegel, and this is about Apple actually, and how they kept everything simple, and that was the key to their success. They just kept every single thing simple. And I was like, okay, I think like I like that ideology, you know, way less work. I was putting hours and hours and hours into putting products on my website just so the website would look good. I knew these products wouldn't sell. There'd be a few that might sell, but I just wanted the website to look good. I'm like, why am I wasting all this time? You know? So I read this book next, actually. The One Thing by Gary Keller. This is a good book right here. It's all about focusing on one thing, just one thing. Whatever that one thing is, become the master at that. Whether that's a skill, whether that's a product, just find that one thing, because one thing can change your life. And I can tell you right now, my one thing changed my life for sure. So my one thing service-wise was e-commerce, and I'm like, you know, I kind of like this idea of a one product store. Now I Googled it, and there was no results. Nobody was doing this ideology between where it's like you list one product at a time on your store. And I was like, I feel like this might work, because ClickFunnels is big right now, and they're all about making websites with like one landing page, like squeeze pages, all landing pages. It's really big right now, and it's shown to convert heavily. So I was like, maybe I can tie that into e-commerce. maybe I can find a winning product and just list that one product on my store, and the store's name promotes that there's only one deal to promote scarcity or whatever, have a timer. So I found an iPhone case that 2 major companies are selling right now. Oh, before I get too far ahead of myself, let me get the next book. So 2 other companies were selling this, and I was like, okay, how can I be a little different than this? Well, I looked at the case, and on AliExpress, it cost about $2 to $3 to the door to get. So really cheap, but these companies were selling it for $20 or $30, and I was like, all right. And I remember reading this book by Sam Walton where he would look at his competition, and he would just be like, all right, I see what you're doing, I see what you're doing, how about I just cut you down like 50% and I sell way more. His whole ideology is selling tons of products at a low margin, because you're gonna be making way more money. He said people would drive 2 hours to buy like 100 tubes of toothpaste because it was like 20 cents cheaper than the competitors. So I was like, okay, well, it cost me about $2 or $3 to get. How about I list it for $10 plus $3 shipping? And so I made the website in 2 hours. Like it's a video, and then it's a picture and a description, a picture and a description, a couple more photos, and trust badges. Trust badges are huge when you're just a new brand starting out. And so this was back in May. So I launched this ad, and I got like 4 purchases off of PPE. And for those of you who know what a PPE is, it's a pay-per engagement. You're not supposed to sell on a pay-per engagement. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm just gonna use this ad set. And I barely knew anything about Facebook ads, so I just started putting more money in the PPE. And then after a few days, I started losing money, and I was like, I can't afford to lose money. I'm moving to California soon. I gotta save it. So I actually shut down the whole store right there. Okay, crazy looking back on it. God, that's so insane. So anyway, I shut the store down. I moved to LA, and I became an Uber driver. I did Uber for like 3 months. I lived in Mar Vista, and it was great. Like, it was awesome. But after like 1 or 2 months of Ubering in LA, I think I put like 20,000 miles on my car. I was going hard. You realize it's just the same thing over and over again. Starting out at the same locations at the same time, having the same conversation with thousands of people, and it started to like just get to my head. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I can't just keep doing this. Like, I already gave up on the real estate thing. This was like dumb. So one night I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna, like, something in the back of my head said there's still more to that case, or there's still more like there's still more to the way that you're trying things at the beginning with the one product format. I'm like that always stuck in my head, like there's something there and I need to pursue it. Like, it just kept telling me, it was ringing in my ears. So one night after Uber driving, I got back, and I hopped on my computer at the house in Mar Vista I was staying, and I launched the ad. It took like an hour, and I literally, same ad, same product, same format, same one product, same everything. I launched it, and I knew a little bit more about Facebook ads now. I was actually asking for help from people to guide me a little bit. And basically what happened is I launched the PPE, I started getting sales, so I launched what I didn't do before. I launched a conversion ad at the cart. That proved it changed my entire life right there. And this is why. Launched that ATC, add to cart ad, and it started building. So as I'm driving Uber, I'm like, okay, I got like 2 sales a day. That's awesome. Made a profit of like 10 bucks. Scaled it up. It's like, oh wow, I made 50 bucks today. Profit of like $20. That's insane. Like, I would get like Panda and get 3 entrees. So I would go, and it started scaling up. And then like 2 weeks after that, I hit $109 in one day. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, I just made like 40 bucks doing nothing. I thought that was insane, okay? So this is happening. I'm getting more and more sales. Well, I had a really good deal with the place I was living in LA, and it was like November at this time. Okay, I launched it late October. This is like November. So I was actually on Airbnb with this girl, Dara, and I was paying like originally $1,300 or $1,400 for the month, and now that we're off Airbnb, I was like, hey, can we make a deal? She originally said $1,000. I'm like, okay. I put $100 down on that because she wanted to deposit it. She came to me the next week and said, hey, actually I need $1,200. And I go, okay, that's my limit, but that's fine, I'll do it. It's a good deal. comes to me the next week and says, oh, actually it's gonna be $1,400. I'm like, what? Like, you can't just raise the rent 40% after I gave you a deposit. And the worst part was she was trying not to give me my deposit back. So I was like, all right, whatever, you know, it's the holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm just gonna go back home. So I pack up my stuff, and as I'm driving back home, I'm getting more and more sales. So, I forgot to mention this. When I hit that $100 a day, I put more money into it, and it started to go backwards. Actually, I started making like $80 a day, $60 a day, and I almost shut it off again. I almost shut that off again, and that would have been disastrous. But I just trusted my intuition. I'm like, something's there. So I ended up launching a lookalike audience ad, ATC, from ATCs to the ATC, and it built up a little. But I'm like, you know, I have enough purchase. I'm getting more than 10 purchases a week, which is what you need to optimize for purchase ads. And that's like the end goal. That's what you really want to focus on, by the way. And I was like, all right, I'll launch a purchase ad. It went from $60 a day to $12 a day. Next day, $12 a day. Next day, $24 a day. I'm like, okay. Next day, $36 a day. And this is all when I'm driving back to St. Louis, where I live now. And I will be living here for a while, because I like to travel, and you know, I just like this area. So anyway, as I'm going back to St. Louis, I'm getting more and more sales on purchase ads. Now that's huge, because now Facebook's optimizing for purchase ads, the end goal. They're not optimizing for add to carts, they're optimizing for the end goal purchase. So as I'm driving back, I get home and I did like $118 in a day, and that's a profit of like maybe like $50, $60. So I was like, okay. So that was November 12th. I go to my family went to Disney World for a Thanksgiving vacation, and as I was there, I was doing like $200, $300, $400 a day, and I was psyched. And I still didn't really understand Facebook ads right now. I was just going with what was working. I think I had like 15 random ad sets that I was just pouring random money into, and I was still profiting like a cool 100. I was averaging between 100 and 200 a day. Okay, and this is when things got crazy right here. This is when things got nuts. So I come back from Disney World, and I'm starting to really understand these ads now. And so I went from $200 a day in ad spend to $420, I think. So I get back, and it's like a Thursday. Okay, I put $420. I think I did like $600, so I like broke even. The next day was a Friday. I did $1,000. That's right. I went to my old college, ironically, and I was with my college homies at the bar, and I was like, look at this, I just broke 1,000 in one day. I was psyched. That's 1,000 in one day. That's like $200 or $300 profit. And like, just talking about it right now, you can see my I'm just getting goosebumps, because that was a life-changing moment. I can't believe I netted 1,000 a day, even though I made like $200 or $300 off of that. That's still tons, because I was a busser making like $70 for 5 hours. It was just ridiculous a year ago, and still a year ago right now at this point I was a busser. I just want to mention that. That's crazy too. So anyway, I'm like, this is 1,000 a day, you know, started going super hard, got really like partied so hard, I had a great night, and then I woke up at this apartment, and I look at my phone, and it's 8 a.m. in the morning, and I had $680 already ordered at 8 a.m. in the morning. And I remember, I only have $420 in ad spend, and there's still 16 hours to go. So I'm like, all right, I'm driving back home, and I'm having a fun day. This girl Marina backed into my car, so it's like I had this sick Camry, and I was just brand new 2018, and I was just driving that, and I was like, all right, I'm calling up my buddy Logan. We're having a great day today. So I called Logan. He just broke up with his girlfriend. So I'm like, Logan, this is crazy. What I've been doing is finally working. Let's go to I'm blanking on the name of it. It's downtown in St. Louis. It's like the biggest playground in the world. It's just huge, like gigantic. So we go down there, and I'm like, I'll pay for everything. We're gonna go to an awesome restaurant after this. Like, I'll pay for it, whatever we do. So because I'm just having an insane day. So while we're there, it's like 4 p.m. Look at my phone, 1,000. Already at 1,000. No, I think it was like $1,200 at 4 p.m. I'm like, oh my God. So long story short, we have a great day. We go to this awesome restaurant. You know, I buy everything I get. I never get appetizers. I was getting appetizers. I was getting the entrees. I was getting dessert. It was just awesome. And winding down to the end of the day, I do over $1,600, and that was that would have been December 3rd, I believe. December 3rd, I think. I'll probably post a screenshot somewhere over here to show it. And that was a profit of over $900. And remember, this is all from one iPhone case. So I'm like, holy shit, there is something I discovered. I stumbled on something amazing. Like, I thought of something incredible that nobody else is doing, and it's working so well, you know? So that I ended up scaling like that. Oh, the next day after that $1,600, I switched my credit cards and Facebook froze my account, so it broke the flow. Went from 900, 600, 700. I had to shut all my ads off. But now I understood Facebook ads, and I had a way better grip. So I launched all these lookalike audience ads for purchase. And by the way, everyone who's watching this who knows e-commerce, if you want a very good tip, lookalike purchase ads is exactly what the end goal is. I've been running my ads for 6 months now off just lookalike audience ads, because Facebook knows way more than you ever will about targeting, and once you supply it with the proper amount of data, just trust that. So anyway, it started scaling like that in December, and then in January it just kept going. In December I did 25,000 that month, and I was like, you know, what am I supposed to think now? It's like, literally, at that point, it would have been 5 months ago, I was a busser making $1,000 a month, and I just cleared $27,000 in a month. 5 months later, profit of like $10,000 to $15,000 from an iPhone case. And I'm like, okay, the old way of working definitely wasn't working for me. I like this internet thing, and I like how and it's 100% location neutral. Okay, that's the best part. 100% location neutral, completely automated. I hired a virtual assistant to do all my order fulfillment and customer service. The only thing I do now is ads, and I work like 1 or 2 hours a day. So once I saw that, I was like, okay, now I'm really gonna go for it. So this is the dream life I always envisioned. So I traveled to Seattle, like I said, I went to Orlando. I went to Vegas like 5 times. I went to Denver like 7 times. I went to Los Angeles again in April. I literally just stayed there for 5 weeks just because. Like in Marina Del Rey, I went to the beach three weeks in a row, every single day for 3 weeks. And I was like, why not? You know, it's like I can. All my work's online. I'm location neutral. That was a fun time. That was a waste of time though, if we're being honest. I just came back to St. Louis. I just got back from Oregon. I actually went out to LA again last month because Ty Lopez heard about what I was doing when I bought my Lexus, and I'll actually show you guys that at the end of this video. And I just was like, I met Ty Lopez and I went to his house 2 days in a row. I was part of his 300 dinner, and I was like, this is amazing. This is all from one iPhone case, from one Facebook ad, you know, from one product, from one store. And I was like, wow, like this was right. What is it? This book was right. It's way simpler than you think. It's way simpler than you think. Okay? Steve Jobs was right. This guy knew what was going on. It's all about simplicity. Like, look around. The iPhone is literally just this, okay? Everybody has this iPhone. Before this, people were like flipping out Blackberries, Razors, and all this. It was like a status thing. He just leveled it out, kept it simple. iPhone. Okay, so coming to my conclusion on all this, I've done over $133,000 now on one iPhone case, and it's still going up. Like I said, I'm about to break $700 today, and I'll probably break $1,000, and I think I got $400 in ad spend, so I should make another $300 or $400 today, like I've been doing like almost every day. So all I'm saying, guys, is it's way easier than you think. Like, don't overthink things. Not even in e-commerce dropshipping, but just in general. A lot of the times people like to overthink things, overcomplicate, wait for the right time. Like, oh, like, for example, if you're going to college to get a dream job, why would you not try to apply for that dream job before you even go to college? Like, why not? It's way simpler than going to college for 4 or 5 years. Even if they say they require degree, just stand out. Just say, hey, listen, I want to work for you guys. I want to be completely trained by you guys, and I want you to shape me into the person that you want to be. I'm willing to sacrifice my college years in order to do this. Alright, sorry about that, guys. My camera just died. So yeah, basically my whole point is it's just about keeping it simple. Like, go straight towards your goal instead of going around it or doing all these things you think you need to do. Just go straight towards it. Really, in terms of e-commerce dropshipping, it only takes one product to change your life. Because of one product, like I said, I've been able to travel to Oregon, I've been able to travel to Washington, I've been able to travel to Denver, Vegas, LA, meet Ty Lopez. I just did an interview with Oberlo. That's coming out in a couple days. I've been able to buy my new Lexus. I've been able to do so many things, but most importantly, I've been able to not be told what to do by one person at any moment of my life. I don't bow to anybody in my life at any moment, and that's pure freedom. And that's what I was going for at the very beginning. Nothing ties me down. No one's calling me saying, hey, you need to work tonight. Nobody's calling, telling me like, hey, you need to do it this way. I am the master of my domain, and there's no better feeling than that in the entire world. So yeah, guys, that's basically how I was able to do that. That was my life story. If you guys are interested in what I do, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can learn more about what dropshipping e-commerce is. I know I touched on it a bit. And also my one product method and how and why it works. That's all in the description below. If you're interested, go ahead and click that. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Be sure to hit like and then also hit subscribe, because I'm coming out with tons of videos, tons of free advice on how to make money online. Not even dropshipping e-commerce. I'm gonna do some dropshipping e-commerce websites, but I'm also gonna do other ways of making money online. Like, I just released the Craigslist free items to Facebook Marketplace strategy. I mean, you can easily make hundreds of dollars a day not paying for any products, just transferring it from Craigslist free to Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, guys, that's it. Scott Hilse signing off. I'm gonna go outside and show you my new car, by the way, that I bought literally with one iPhone case I've never seen or touched. So yeah, guys, here she is right here. 2015 Lexus IS 250. Really an upgrade from my old car. This is the car that I actually drove Uber in. I'm selling that right now. But yeah, this is it. I picked it up from Little Rock, Arkansas. I got these new rims put on it the other day. I'm thinking about lowering it, but you know, lowering it kind of asks for problems. I'll see if it's unlocked. It's not, but interior is nice. I'm sure I'll do a video coming up on that as well, where I just go over the details of that beauty. But yeah, man, I was actually in a 1990 Honda Accord a year ago. This is my upgrade from that, and this is my upgrade from that. And a lot of Uber memories in this car. That's why I also wanted to buy a new one, because I felt like an Uber driver every time. And yeah, that's basically it. One iPhone case I've never seen or touched bought me this. Got me from this life to this life. Peace. Scott Hilse.